Hello everybody, this is a tutorial on how to replace your coil packs on a 2008 Nissan Altima, the 4-cylinder one. First of all, we will need to remove the cover on the engine, and that'll need a 3/16 Allen key, and there are 3 different bolts on the cover. Mine only had 2, so I only removed those 2, but there would be 3, and then we'll need to just set this aside. We'll need to get our wrenches and our sockets that we will need. So we will need a 10mm socket, and this will be to remove the bolt that is on it. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the socket, and my socket was a little too big, so I had to put a little adapter onto it. You may or may not have that, but you go ahead and just remove all the 4 bolts that are on each of the coil packs. Take each of the bolts after you take them off and set them aside. We will be reusing them with the new coil packs. Before we take them out, we're going to be removing the plugs off of each of them. They are kind of hard. You kind of push towards the part that's closest to you, and if you need to, you can take the coil pack out to help you out in removing it. This is what a good coil pack looks like, removing it. This one I was having some issues with, so I skipped over. This one also looks good for cylinder 2. That one was the one that I was having issues with though. And cylinder 3, I was attempting to pull it out because it was stuck, and after a lot of pulling, it just broke off and fell into it, so I had to grab a set of needle nose pliers. Mine are kind of big. You don't need ones this big. I just had those, but I pretty much had to pull part of the boot out of the cylinder, and I was pulling it out in pieces because it was improperly lubricated when it was put on originally. I did try a couple times to get it off, and after a few times I was able to rip it out, because at this point we're not going to reuse this one, so there's no point in trying to get it all perfect. Yeah, it came out in 3 different pieces, and yours may or may not do this. If it does, do not panic. Just grab a set of needle nose pliers and insert it into the hole like this, and after a few tries, it'll come out. Now we're going to grab the new coil packs. They look very similar, almost identical to the other ones. And we're going to be putting on some dielectric grease on the inside of each of the coil packs that will be making contact with the spark plug, as well as the outside of it. One that has been greased on the left to one that has not been greased on the right. I go and attempt to start putting them back in. I went ahead and secured it in, plugged it in, and then I pushed it down as far as I could and put the screws on each of them. And I only got a recording of putting 3 of them on, but I did put all of them on. Once you get all the coil packs plugged in, properly screwed down, and check all the bolts to make them completely tightened down. Don't make them too tight, but get them pretty tight. You can go ahead and start the car and make sure what you have done is correct. Thank you all for watching. This was the tutorial on how to replace the coil packs on a 2008 Nissan Altima.